So guys, welcome to Sir J's Math Lessons. So for today's video, I will be sharing to you the concept of limits at infinity. So recall muna natin yung basic concept. So ano ba ibig sabihin ng infinity? So for example, I have this graph. Let's say ito yung graph natin. Then let's say we have a certain number. Let's say x is equal to a. Ito yung certain number natin, a. Then we have a graph. Say that looks like this. Then yung isang part ng graph, let's say pag ganito. Ayan. Now, as we notice, as the value of x gets closer and closer to a, dito either from left or from right, so makikita natin na yung behavior ng function ay papunta lang dun sa taas. So in that case, we can say that the limit of the function, let's say we have the f of x as x approaches a, is equal to positive infinity. Okay, or as x gets closer and closer to a from left or from right, the limit of f of x approaches positive infinity. So in that case, actually the limit does not exist. Okay, so pag halimbawa meron naman tayong ganitong case, say this is our graph. Then this is our value of a. Let's say x is equal to a here again. Yan. Tapos, so let's say ang mangyayari naman, kasi ang graph natin ay papunta dito, both sa baba. So ganyan ang itsura. So anong masasabi natin? So in this case, we can say that the limit of f of x as x approaches a is equal to negative infinity. So actually, yung ito ay hindi yan limit, hindi yan directional lang naman kasi siya. Kumbaga direction lang naman yung tinitingnan natin dito. The limit does not exist. Okay, pero usually ito yung ginagamit na notation. Okay, so as x approaches a, so instead na isusulat natin na approaches negative infinity or approaches positive infinity, we can just write the symbol. So negative infinity or positive infinity. Oh, let's say I want you to evaluate this type of function. Let's say the given function f of x is equal to, let's say we have 3 over x minus 4. Yan. Then given f of x is equal to 3 over x minus 4, let's evaluate the limit of the function f of x as x approaches 4. Okay, so if we're going to evaluate the limit of x as x approaches 4, kapag dinirect substitute natin to dito, ang mangyayari ay 3 over 4 minus 4. So ang mangyayari dyan ay f of x at 4 is equal to 3 over 4 minus 4, which is 0. So bawal yun, magiging undefined. So ano yung gagawin natin? We need to test the limit of f of x as x approaches 4 from left and from right, and then tingnan natin ang magiging behavior ng function. So without graphing, pwede naman muna natin tong by inspection. If you have limit of f of x as x approaches 4 from right, so ano mangyayari? So kung from right, ano ba yung mga number na very close doon sa 4 from right? So ang pinakamalapit, let's say 4.01. Okay, 4.01. So 4.01 minus 4 is 0.01. When we divide a whole number by a decimal of 3 divided by 0.01, napakalaking number yon. Okay, so paano kung mas gagawin ko pa yung mas very close pa sa 4 from right? Let's say 4.001, 4.001. So ang mangyayari, mas lalong lumalaki yung f of x. So therefore, in this case, we can say that the limit of f of x as x approaches 4 from right is positive infinity. Now, how about for the limit of f of x as x approaches 4 from left? So, pag from left naman, let's see kung anong magiging behavior ng function niya. Kapag from left, so ano ba yung sa left ng 4? Ang pinakamalapit ay 3.99. Yan. So, 3.99 minus 4 is negative. Okay? Negative yon, negative 0.01. Lalo na pala kung mas lalapitan ko pa, let's say, gagamitin ko 3.999, 3.9999. So, ang nagiging value dito sa denominator is negative 0.01, negative 0.001, negative 0.0001, and so on and so forth. Now, when we divide this, a whole number, by negative 0.001, 0.0001, mas lalong lumalaki yung value ng f of x, yun nga lang negative. So, in that case, ang ating magiging sagot ay negative infinity. Okay? Now, in fact, we can sketch the graph of this function. Since ito ay rational function, pag graph natin yan, kukunin natin ang kanyang vertical asymptote. So, the 4 will serve as the vertical asymptote. So, where can we find that? Let's say ito yung 4. Yan ang ating vertical asymptote. Okay? So, yung magiging behavior ng graph as x approaches 4 from right, lahat ito ay papunta na doon sa taas. So anyway, kung magtetest tayo ng 5, let's say 5 ang tetest ko, this will become 3 over 5 minus 4 is 1. And 3 divided by 1 is 3. So let's say, andito yung 3. Ito yung 5. So nandito siya. Ayan. Now, kung papalapit doon sa 4, ang graph natin ay tumataas naman doon, approaching positive infinity. Yung kabila namang part ay nandito yan. Ayan. It will never intersect at dito sa x-axis natin kasi hindi magiging 0 ang ating value ng f of x, whatever values of x you're going to use. Okay? Kasi lagi yang above the x-axis kapag gumamit tayo ng mga numbers sa right ng 4. Kasi lahat ito ay positive. So, 4.1 minus 4, 4.2 minus 4, laging positive. 3 divided by decimal, so lumalaki yung value. So, ibig sabihin, yung graph ay nandito lang sa part na to. Okay? Kahit i-extend ko pa yan doon. Now, pag left naman, so ito ay 3.9. So, 3.9 minus 4, so 0.1. Kaya, 3 divided by 0.1, 3 divided by negative 0.1 is negative. Malaking number yon, negative. Negative 30. Ayan, so negative 30, so nasa baba. Okay? So, ang graph naman niya ay magiging ganito. Yan. Okay? So, ito yung dito na tinatawag nating 4. Ito yung part ng 4 from left. Ayan. Ito naman yung 4 from right. Okay? So, makikita natin, papunta doon, pataas, approaching positive infinity. So, ito yun. Ito naman, pababa. Ito yung negative infinity. Okay? So, this is the simple example muna for the limits at infinity. Now, ang next natin ngayon, mag-evaluate naman tayo. What if our function approaches positive infinity or negative infinity, or as the value of x gets larger and larger without bound. So, paano naman natin siya i-evaluate? So, mag-example tayo. Tapusin nyo lang yung video na ito at mamaya makikita nyo shortcut naman tayong gagawin. So, evaluating, let's say, limit of 2 over x plus 5 as x approaches infinity. Ayan. So, ngayon, iba naman siya. Hindi siya tulad nung kanina na ang x approaching a certain number. So, this time, what if yung x naman natin papalaki ng papalaki? So, kung positive infinity yan, ibig sabihin, doon sa right ng x-axis natin, gets larger and larger without bound. So, paano natin to i-evaluate? So, to evaluate the limit of 2 over x plus 5 as x approaches positive infinity, so by inspection, kung magta-try tayo ng number na malaking malaki, let's say 100, this will become 2 over 105. And when we divide 2 by 105, 2 over 105 is 2 divided by 105 is actually 0.019. Now, how much more pa kung mas lalakihan ko pa yung number? Let's say 1,000, 10,000, 1 million, and so on and so forth, as long as x approaches infinity. So, mapapansin natin dyan na ang buong function na 2 over x plus 5 ay nagiging 0. So, in that case, we can just say that the limit of this function as x approaches positive infinity is automatically 0. Okay, in fact, whenever you encounter this type of problem, kapag just observe ito na yung sabi ko kanina sa inyo na isang trick dito. Just observe the degree of numerator. Okay, just observe the degree of numerator and denominator. Okay? So, if the degree of n of x, the numerator is less than the degree of the denominator, so automatically ang limit ng function na yan as x approaches either positive or negative infinity, automatically 0. Okay, one good example is if you have, let's say, 1 over x as x approaches positive infinity, so yun ay nagiging 0, tends to 0. So kung makikita natin sa graph kanina, so parang example dito sa graph, asan yan? Example sa graph natin dito, ayan, yung parang ganito, as x approaches positive infinity. So yung graph natin papunta doon, nagsi-0 na siya. Okay? Now, another example. This is actually, isang case lang muna. Ito yan. Based sa degree. So, this is for example number 1. Example number 2. Say, evaluate the limit of 2x plus 4 over 3x minus 5 as x approaches positive infinity. Ayan. So this will be our solution. So ang gagawin natin dito, we need to divide the numerator and denominator by x raised to a power similar to the degree of the polynomial in the denominator. So, anong ibig sabihin nun? I-observe ninyo lagi, pag naka-encounter kayo ng ganitong case, i-observe ninyo kung ano ang degree ng inyong denominator. And that will be your divisor dito sa dito sa numerator and denominator natin. So in this case, we will be having limit of 2x over x plus 4 over x all over 3x over x minus 5 over x as x approaches positive infinity. Then, just simplify. So, pag sinimplify natin, ito ay magiging limit of 2x over x. This one will be cancelled, kaya magiging 2 plus 4 over x all over. Dito naman, x will be cancelled also, so we will be having 3 minus 5 over x as x approaches infinity. So, this time, gagamitin na natin yung properties ng limits. So, if you have numerator and denominator, so ang limit niyan ay distribute natin doon sa numerator, then dito din sa denominator. So, this will become limit of 2 as x approaches infinity plus limit of 4 over x as x approaches infinity all over limit of 3 as x approaches infinity plus this is minus and minus limit of 5 over x as x approaches infinity. Then evaluate natin. This is actually the limit of a constant. Okay, limit of a constant is constant pa rin. So kahit naman ito ay approaching positive infinity or negative infinity, since constant ito, di yan magbabago. So fix yung number na yan. So therefore, this is 2. Plus, ito naman, as x approaches positive infinity, so since ito ay constant, ito ay palaki ng palaki, yung the whole thing na to, pag nag-evaluate tayo as x approaches positive infinity, yan ay nagiging 0. So, ibig sabihin, this will become 2 plus 0 over. Itong part naman na to, sa baba, limit of a constant is constant din, minus, this will become 0. 5 over very large number will be 0. So, therefore, we have 2 plus 0 is 2. 3 minus 0 is 3. So, the limit of 2x plus 4 over 3x minus 5 is 2/3. Okay? So, this will be our final answer. The limit of 2x plus 4 over 3x minus 5 as x approaches infinity is equal to 2/3. Okay? So, ito yung trick. So, observation naman ngayon, ang titingnan mo na lang. Sa function na f of x is equal to 2x plus 4 over 3x minus 5, ang titingnan lang natin ngayon is just the numerical coefficient ng ito. Okay? Just the 2 and the 3. Okay? Ito yan. 2. Yan. That's 2/3. Okay? So, kailan lang ito pwedeng mangyari? Kapag ang degree, if the degree of the numerator n of x is equal to the degree of the denominator, d of x. Anyway, kaya ginagamit ko ay n of x tsaka d of x. N of x stands for numerator and d of x stands for denominator as a memory device para mas madali nyo matandaan. So, ganun yun. Kapag para sa degree nila, tandaan nyo lang, just get the ratio. Ganun yung pinakamabilis na technique doon. Pero pag kailangan ng solution ng teacher, kailangan makita yung detailed solution mo, syempre ipapakita mo. This is the algebraic solution. Okay? Ano yung gagawin? Just divide the numerator and denominator by the variable. Okay? Or by the variable with the highest degree. Ay, no. By the variable raised to a power. Okay? Kung ano yung kung ano yung degree ng denominator. Yun ang ating divisor. So, let's move to another example. Kanina, ang degree ng numerator ay mas mababa sa denominator, so automatically 0. Kapag same ang kanilang degree, tulad nito, same ang kanilang degree, ayan. So, ang mangyayari, magdi-divide tayo ng variable sa numerator and denominator. Kung ano yung degree ng denominator. So, ngayon, what if iba naman yung case? What if ang case naman natin ngayon ay, let's say, mas mataas naman ang numerator. So, example number 3. Evaluate the limit of, let's say we have 5x cubed minus 3x plus 4 over, say, x squared minus 2x plus 1. This time as x approaches negative infinity. So, gamitin naman natin ngayon as x approaches negative infinity. So, ang gagawin naman natin dito, ganun din, observe natin ang ating denominator. Ano ba yung highest degree? X squared. So, magdi-divide tayo lahat. So, this is limit of 5x cubed over x squared minus 3x over x squared plus 4 over x squared all over x squared over x squared minus 2x over x squared plus 1 over x squared as x approaches negative infinity. Then, simplify natin yan. X cubed divided by x squared. Cancel na to. So, this will become 5x na lang. Sorry, nakalimutan ko ang limit. As x approaches negative infinity. So, 3x over x squared is 3 over x. Cancel na yung x doon. So, may matitira pang x sa baba. Plus 4 over x squared is wala nang mga cancel. So, just copy. Over x squared over x squared, since para sa kanilang degree, so this is 1. Or same expression. X squared divided by itself is 1. So, 1 minus, ito, cancel yung isa. So, may matitira pang isa sa baba. Kaya 2 over x. Plus 1 over x squared. Copy. Now, evaluate natin yung limit. So, distribute na natin to. Apply natin yung properties. So, ito ay magiging limit of 5x as x approaches negative infinity minus limit of 3 over x as x approaches negative infinity, okay, plus limit of 4 over x squared as x approaches negative infinity all over, so dito ang equals natin, all over limit of 1 as x approaches negative infinity minus limit of 3 over x as x approaches negative infinity, 2, this is 2, ayan, 2 over x plus limit of 1 over x squared as x approaches negative infinity. So, yung itong mga part na to, ay may evaluate natin as x gets larger and larger without bound, pero negative nga lang, ito ay magiging 0. Ganon din ito kasi naka-constant over x squared. So, ito ay magiging 0 ang dalawa. Okay? So, ang matitira ay yung nasa taas. Actually, pwede natin itong i-factor and pwede natin itong isulat as 5 times, constant multiple kasi yung 5. So, 5 times limit of x as x approaches negative infinity. This is 0. This is 0 also. And for the denominator, limit of a constant is constant. 2 over x as x approaches negative infinity. That's also 0. Plus, ito 1 over x squared. This is also 0. So, ano na lang natira natin? 5 times limit of x as x approaches negative infinity over 1. Okay, which is ito yon. Now, analyze natin maiga. Kapag ang number natin dito ay napakalaki pero negative at i-multiply ko sa 5, ano kaya mangyayari? Very large negative number times 5. Edigay very large negative number pa rin ang sagot. So, ibig sabihin, ito ay negative infinity pa rin. Okay? So, therefore, this is our final answer. The limit of 5x cubed minus 3x plus 4 over x squared minus 2x plus 1 as x approaches negative infinity is negative infinity. In fact, ito yung trick. Kapag ang degree ng... So, this is the trick. If the degree of the numerator n of x is greater than the degree of the denominator d of x, then the limit is either positive or negative infinity. So, yung positive and negative infinity, nakadepende yun doon sa matitira kapag nag-simplify kayo. Okay? So, either positive or negative infinity lang ang magiging sagot dyan. In fact, you can also use the exponent of the numerator, yung degree. Okay, so imagine na ito ay i-raise mo negative number raised to odd. That's always negative. Okay? So, ganyan yung mangyayari kapag mas mataas yung denominator, degree ng denominator sa numerator. Okay? So, yan yung tatlong trick na pwede nyong ma-apply sa pag-evaluate ng limits at infinity. So, I'll give you another one. Example number 4. So, this time, what if meron kayong ma-encounter na parang ganitong itsura? Let's say, number 4 na tayo. We have limit of, let's say, meron ako ganitong function. 3x over, this time, lagyan natin ng radical. Radical naman ngayon. Ayan. 3x over square root of, say, we have x squared minus x squared, let's say, plus 3. Yan, ganyan. Ayan. As x approaches, let's say, positive infinity. Ayan. Approaches infinity. So, ito ay medyo hindi ganun kadali i-visualize ang graph kasi radical. Mahirap din agad itong makita yung behavior ng function niya kasi mahirap din nga siyang i-graph. But using algebraic manipulation, okay, at i-apply natin yung mga existing theorems or properties ng limits natin, so masosolve pa rin naman natin to. So ano muna yung unang gagawin? Just like sa previous example natin, kung ano ang degree ng denominator ng variable natin na yun ang magiging divisor mo rin. So, i-consider natin yung nasa radical. Kaya ito ay magiging limit of 3x over ano ang mataas na degree dito? X squared. 'Di ba? Pero nasa radical. So, dapat ang divisor ko dito nasa radical din. Dapat parehas. Okay? So, my divisor will be square root of x squared. All over square root of x squared plus 3 divided by square root of x squared. Okay? So, ganyan yung gagawin natin. So, pag dinivide natin yan, ito ay magiging as x approaches positive infinity. Remember that if you have, pag meron kang ganitong case, if you have the square root of a divided by square root of b, pwede nating i-express to as 1 radical. Square root of a over b. Ganyan. Diba? So, gagawin natin yan sa denominator. So, for the numerator, simplify muna natin yan. So, we have limit as x approaches infinity is 3 over x, square root of x is x. So, ito ay marireduce na lang natin sa ganitong form. 3x over x. Right? At makakancel na natin to. So, ang numerator natin magiging 3 na lang. Over. So, ito ay marireduce natin sa ganitong form tulad nito, a over b, square root of a over b. Ito ay magiging x squared plus 3 over x squared. Okay? Then, simplify natin. So, limit as x approaches infinity of 3 over, this will become square root of x squared over x squared plus 3 over x squared. Okay? So, again, this is 3 over square root of, simplify what is x squared over x squared. So, that's 1 plus 3 over x squared as x approaches positive infinity. Okay? So, ngayon, titingnan natin ngayon yung masisimplified na sagot natin kapag dinistribute natin yung limit na to. So, in-apply natin yung limit properties. Okay? So, this will become limit of 3 as x approaches infinity all over square root of limit of 1 as x approaches infinity plus limit of 3 over x squared as x approaches infinity. Okay? Yan. So, limit ng constant ay constant. So, that's 3 over limit ng constant sa denominator natin 1 pa rin plus limit ng 3 over x squared as x approaches infinity. So, this will become 0. Okay? So, kaya ang matitira na lang natin ay 3 over square root of 1, which is 3 over 1 or 3. Okay? So, this will be our final answer. So, ganyan ang gagawin natin kapag naka-radical. Ganun pa rin yung divisor ninyo. Yung highest exponent pa rin ng denominator. Yun nga lang, kung nasa radical yan, kung nag-divide ka dito, syempre nasa loob na ng square root. Ganun din gagawin mo sa numerator. Okay, ganun din. Kaya nakalagay ko dito ay square root of x squared. Actually, pwede mo gamitin na lang ay x. Kasi pag sinimplify mo na agad. So, just to ease your make your solution fast, pwede mong i-direct na lang na x na lang nakalagay doon. Okay? So, sana ay nakatulong. So, meron bang trick dyan? So, yung trick ito. Iintindihan mo yung proseso. Yung meron lang sa polynomial. Yung kanina, case 1, 2, 3. Kapag ang degree ng numerator ay mas mababa sa degree ng denominator, automatically 0 yan. Pangalawang case, kapag paras ang degree nila ng numerator and denominator, automatically just get the ratio of their numerical coefficients ng term. Okay? Kapag mas mataas naman ang degree ng numerator sa denominator, it's either positive or negative infinity yan. Okay? Ilang naman ang magiging sagot doon. So, syempre, i-manipulate mo hanggang sa matira na lang ay yung merong pagbabasehan ka ng magpa-plugin ka ng positive infinity or negative infinity. Okay? So, Actually, dito sa pag-evaluate natin ng positive infinity and negative infinity, yung nakukuha nating sagot, they will serve as horizontal asymptote. So in this case, ang tawag natin dito ay horizontal asymptote as an addition na rin. Okay, in case na tinatanong kayo, given the function 3x over square root of x squared plus 3 as x approaches 8, find the horizontal asymptote. Okay? So, what's the horizontal asymptote as x approaches positive infinity? So, eto yun. The horizontal asymptote is 3. Okay? Now, what if itatry mo as x approaches negative infinity? So, your turn naman. So, try mo to. Try. Find what is the horizontal asymptote if you have limit of 3x over square root of x squared plus 3 as x approaches negative infinity. Ayan, try mo to. Ayan. Find the limit and identify the horizontal asymptote. Limit of 3x over square root of x squared plus 3 as x approaches negative infinity. Okay? So, tingnan ko sa comment ang iyong magiging sagot para ma-test natin kung naintindihan mo na yung part na ito. Now, if you have questions, pwede nyo akong i-message. Pwede rin kayong mag-comment dito sa baba ng video. Okay? Thank you guys. Sana ito ay nakatulong sa inyo. Sana may nakuha. Okay? So, limits at infinity. Ayan. Ayan. Ito yung 3 cases. Ayan. Okay? So, limits at infinity. See you guys.